been a pretty decent growing season for us this year. I mean, we started off the year short-handed because we didn't really have our raised beds and gardens set up. Although this is the second year that we're gardening, really this is the first year with these raised beds. It's been a lot of work, sowing seeds, planting, maintaining, weeding, but it's all worth it when you get a harvest. We started the growing season setting up this garden with the landscape fabric and building all of our raised beds. Then we brought in some fresh soil, and then we started sowing seeds and planting. We've been harvesting on and off some vegetables here probably for the past month or so. How you doing, guys? Let's get in this garden. Got a problem, guys. It's a serious problem, and it's a frosty problem. All the tomatoes are kind of dying back. The cucumbers are dying back. Some of the lettuce is not looking too healthy. The carrots, I don't think they're growing that big. All the potatoes are dying back. The pumpkins, they look like they're completely dead, so it's definitely time to harvest some of the pumpkins. And we'll see what else we got. Let's have some fun in the garden today. We're in zone 5B here in somewhat central Ontario of Canada. Our growing season is somewhat short. We start planting outdoors really the third week of May. It's October now, and we're pretty much winding down the garden here. We just had our first frost last night, and most of the leaves on all the tomatoes and some other things around here, they're all wilting and weathered looking, so I don't think they're gonna produce at the same rate that they did. Although it's a beautiful sunny day, it's quite nippy. It's about 10 degrees Celsius right now, and you know, it's still a little sweater season. So it's a beautiful fall day to get out in the garden though. We have harvested a lot of ripe red tomatoes. These are beefsteak tomatoes, and a lot of cherry tomatoes, these little small ones. But for whatever reason, these ones that are left are just not ripening up on the vine. And I really don't think they're going to. It's getting too cold, so at least we got some green tomatoes. And I mean, Billy the mini pig likes tomatoes. I'm assuming the new pig, Bob, he also likes tomatoes, so we'll see. Feed the animals for free. You'll notice my darling's not here today. She has to work, and I mean, we don't have any more time to try to get this harvesting done, so I'm got the joys of doing the harvesting myself. Usually I do the building and the chores, and she does the planting and the maintaining and everything. I'm just plucking some of these fingerling eggplants. They're really supposed to be this size. There's not too many of them. My wife already harvested a lot. There's only 6 left. One of the things I really enjoy planting in the garden are these green beans. They're so easy. It's like they give us lots of vegetables every time. These beans are very easy to harvest also. They just fall right off. You just pluck them. We've had a lot of great success this year with these radishes. This is our second planting. If you guys remember, we already harvested a whole batch, and we basically used it in our fresh garden salads. This is actually our very first succession planting where we harvested and then we sowed again, and now we're harvesting a second harvest. It's pretty good. There's a lot of vegetables that you can do that with because they mature very quickly. I think these radish are 45 days. Radish! This lettuce right here, it's already going to seed, and the leaves are a little bit small, so we're just going to use this for the animals. The pigs go crazy for this, the rabbits go crazy for this, and the chickens a little bit too. We also have this over here that I've been picking at. The rabbits and the pig really likes this too, eh? This is all different kind of mesclun type lettuce, and it's still pretty good. It's got a nice odor to it. This stuff right here is okra. Sadly, we may have planted it too late. They don't look like they're going to give us any veg. They're tiny little okras. Got a little too close for the geese's liking, and they're giving me a hard time now. Back away! Back away! I mean me back away. Otherwise I can't talk to you guys because they're too loud. You want to see our one and only cantaloupe, guys? Here's our one and only cantaloupe. It's just about the size of a tomato. I don't know what happened to that cantaloupe. We had 6 or 7 plants there. Only one gave us fruits, but it's way too late. All these things are long beans, but we didn't really get that many. Cucumbers this year did amazingly well. They really like this tunnel trellis that I built. If I was to train these straight up, they'd be hanging off the ceiling already in here. We got a good harvest of cucumbers this year. Awesome! The carrots are still looking really good. They don't seem to have any frost damage, but they're awfully small. So I think I'm just gonna leave them in and see what happens over the next couple weeks. Like, I mean, they're tiny. I pulled one out. It's like really small. Just like that big. Not even the size of my finger. Oh no, the beast is here. Olive, what are you doing? You're peeing in my garden, aren't you? You're peeing here, aren't you? You're doing in my garden. You got weeds all in your hair. Still have a lot of work to do in this garden to get it to where it should be. But I mean, we did a lot of work this year, and next year I plan to do a lot of work also. I still got to do a lot of this landscape fabric, and I still want to do 6 more of these galvanized raised beds. I'm going to do that in this weedy area right here, and the landscape fabric will really help me control these weeds. Let's go check out the pumpkin patch. I think the pumpkin patch is pretty much a failure. I would consider it a failure, and I mean, I'm just basing that on the fact that I planted probably 100 seeds, and maybe we have 10 pumpkins, maybe, if we're lucky. You know, like, that's 10% yield from our planting. I don't think that's very good. I don't know what the normal is, but we did get a few pumpkins. Let's go take a look. See, I can see a couple of pumpkins down there. There's a nice one there. There's one over there. There's a bunch of smaller ones that I'm not even sure are ready yet. Like this one right here. It just has a little bit of orange, but a lot of green. I think it still needs to ripen up. See what I mean though here, folks? There's like hardly any pumpkins at all. I don't know what happened. This is probably our best one. There's one in there, but it's all rotten. What about this one? It's a small one. I don't know about you guys, but this seems pretty pathetic. We got 2 nice, ripe, big pumpkins. Then we have 2 or 3 pumpkins that have a lot of mouse chew marks on it, or squirrel or something. It's just the skin though, the inside will be okay. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 medium size, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the tiny ones. 100 seeds or so? I don't think that's very good. But it's our first year doing pumpkins. I'm not going to give up. This little pumpkin patch that I did this year, it's full of weeds and other plants. So I need to maybe till that up and maybe cover it with a tarp. You know, I don't know what to do. I don't really want to spray. But that may have impacted the growth of a lot of the pumpkins because, you know, the weeds and the grass and stuff suck all the nutrients. Olive, get out of my pumpkin patch. Thank you. So we'll let those carrots grow a little longer. You know, they're just tiny little things. Everything else now is harvested. It's always a fun time in the garden. We really enjoy learning as much as possible about gardening ways, methods, and techniques. And we just find it overall satisfying in our life. And how about you keep on watching for us, please? I got a nice video. I'll put it up on the screen now, and it's all about what we did to get this garden ready for this season.